You think we're just Negroes that happen to go to the school. That's how he looks at us.
Yeah, yeah.
We're Negroes that happen to go to the school,
Right.
and we acting like we're prophets. No, we're prophets. We're the only ones out here pushing it. Name me one camp outside of DOCC ain't pushing it. HODC ain't pushing it. Who's the number one camp pushing the mark of the beast being a microchip?
Greatmillstone.
And why are we doing it so fancy right now? And it's not just Zabak. It's IUIC, ISUPK, anybody else is teaching everything otherwise. And the Mossad, Paul said the Mossad is not the author of confusion. Yeah. Why would the Mossad say, okay, well, I got all these camps set up, I'm going to teach them this, and that, I'm going to teach this camp that, and this, and I'm going to teach this camp. No, there's only one truth, man. Ephesians, what's that, 4? We're going to start at 1, and we're going to read down to about the 11, 12 verse. Because whether you know it or not, we're at the end of this thing. We're at the end of this thing.
Yep.
Now, I did a video, what did I call it? It was dealing with Daniel, the 7th chapter and the 7th verse of Daniel. The 2nd chapter, look it up.
Was it something about secular history?
No, that was like a, that was update on top of that one. Let me bring it up now.
I had a quick precept.
Go ahead.
Yeah, because Zabak making fun out of Mosai's prophecy. This is the book of Galatians 6 and 7. It says, "Be not deceived. The Mosai is not mocked." So when he did that video,
when I thought about it.
Yeah, when you did that video, Chips would know, which was corny, by the way.
Yeah.
To tell you how it is, you know.
Every time they do that, it's
whoever. I want to. Anyway, Chips no dips. That's an example of mockery.
Well, I got a little creative thing to say. If you take the chips, you're gonna get dipped.
You're gonna get dipped in that fire.
Some fiery hot tomato sauce.
Habanero sauce.
You're gonna be dipped in the volcano.
Yeah.
Ghost peppers.
Galatians 6.
The name of the video is GM. I'm on to it. 9 minutes in. Proof Daniel 7 verse 7 and Daniel 2 verse 40. Let me let it come up. Come on.
Yeah. What you call it? You don't have the greatest.
Okay, it's the Roman Empire.
No.
GMS is number one when it comes to prophecies. At 9 minutes in, proof Daniel 7 verse 7.
We just recorded.
And Daniel 2 verse 40 is the Roman Empire. 40. And I kind of did like an update.
You want me to read it, Pop?
Yeah, go ahead and read that.
Daniel 2 verse 40. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron. For as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise.
Now, why did it keep saying iron?
Right.
If you saw the video, you watch a lot of videos. I'm not, you know, I ain't got the.
No, you. I know you read some.
Actually, there was a legion called.
Right.
The 6, and I'm break it down to you in
Latin.
Go to the 6. Go to Google and go to the 6 Roman legion.
6 Roman legion. Okay.
During the time, there's an actual
word
to it.
Is it like ferrata?
Ferrata means ironclad.
Right.
So the word is what was it?
Ferrata.
Legio sextus verata. Starting with ferrata.
Right.
That means legios means legion, right?
Yep.
Because the Roman armies were broken up into legions, and then the legions had numbers on it.
Right.
Now what happened was when you had Roman soldiers that were that legion, right? When their sons might have took their place, there was Roman soldiers that had high ranks and they retired. Some of them died in battle. So what do? You gotta replenish the legion, right? So that legion, it said that legion went from the time of BC all the way to the 4th century AD. So we're talking what? How many years? We're talking. We're
300 years? 400 years?
No. Yeah, 4, 5.
400, 500 years?
Yep.
Yeah.
400 or 500 years. So that was a favor.
Yeah, I got
Okay,
it.
go ahead.
Yeah, it's Ligio. I guess it'll say Secta Ferrata.
What was their power? Their power was iron.
Yep,
Right.
The sword.
Gold is more precious and expensive. Fine gold is more expensive than silver, but silver is stronger than gold.
Con.
Silver is behind gold. It's precious, but not as precious as gold. But brass is stronger.
Right.
If I took out a silver sword against a guy with a brass sword,
Right.
who's going to win?
The
If
brass
someone
sword.
clean swords,
Yeah.
his sword's going to bend.
Yep.
You take out a golden sword, his sword's going to bend.
Yep.
So from the brass, then we went to which is the Greek Empire,
Yep.
to the Roman Empire.
Which is
So
iron.
why was Rome able to set up an empire? Because they used force. Anytime you set up an empire, it's by force.
Yeah.
Right.
You get
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
because you discover, and they were constantly discovering, innovating their weapons. They were constantly coming with better weapons.
Yep.
You know.
They would what they would do too is they would get the enemy stuff and then they would study it and build
that's
upon
what
it.
Gad did.
Yeah. Yep.
Gad took the guns at Esau and shot better than Esau.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, because they took one of they captured a ship, a Carthaginian ship, and they took it apart, and that's how they were able to build their navy better. The Romans.
That's how you
You
do
know.
it.
Yeah.
Also, they had the, what is called the phalanx, where they had their shields were the size of the Greeks.
They got that
Right.
from the Greeks.
Right. That's why they call it the
So when they would
Greco-Roman.
shoot arrows, they would close up like
Right.
a turtle,
Right.
and the arrows would shoot it.
Right.
And then another thing about the Roman military, the legions, the coats of mail and armor was made out of brass. Of course, it was brass.
Right.
So that was the thing that took them down. The number of men in your army, and the metal that you had, the superior weaponry.
Right. Huh.
Right.
Yep.
That's why when the U.S. goes around the world, because they have superior weaponry.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, my mindset was secular history, scriptures in the secular history, right?
Yep.
And I mentioned it again in another video, which not too many people watch, because we sound like a broken record, but we don't sound like a broken record because we get deeper into it. Man.
Right.
Yeah.
We get deeper into it. So the reason why I kept saying iron, see, right?
Yeah.
So somebody look up the Latin word iron.
Yep.
Probably start.
Yes, correct, yeah. Which
Yeah,
means
yeah.
ironclad. So you gonna tell me it don't make no sense? The reason why the Most High said iron 3 times, and that's iron, so shall it bruise, because they literally use iron.
The Latin word for iron is ferrum.
That means ironclad.
And you're not
Plow.
that's a big spider.
Oh, yeah. That's spider.
So we should know that, right?
Yep.
But we know when you go to Daniel 7th chapter, it says the head of gold down in iron. We already know what it's talking about. So my thing was to go into the secular history, and it's right in order. You see, you had the Assyrians, then you had the Babylonians that took down the Assyrians. Then you had the Medes. If you go into the history, it says that the Persians took down the Babylonians. No, the Persians did not take down the Babylonians.
Right.
It was Darius the Mede that gave the order. But in secular history, it tells you Cyrus of the
Persians.
of the Persian Empire, which is wrong.
Right.
That shows you that Esau's history is flawed.
Bizarre.
All right.
Yep.
Right.
And then when and I went to Google on this. I put in who took down the Persian Empire, and it said Alexander the Greek. What great power came after Alexander the Greek? The Roman Empire.
That's it.
And the reason why people fall off, because they read the book and they pretend like this is deep.
Right.
Oh, that's deep. Oh, that makes sense.
Right.
But really, it doesn't make sense. Why do you think we're in here for so long? Why do you think I've been in this truth for 30 years? And why would 35 years? And why would I joke about the mark of the beast being a microchip?
Right.
Yeah.
Why would we joke about that, man?
I got a script.
We're serious about what we're saying, man.
Yeah.
And we're over you, Zabak. See, Zabak thinks he's over us. You ain't over us, man. We're over you.
I got a quick.
I got-
I'm
You don't
sorry.
know
Sorry.
you don't know all the
I got-
breakdowns,
I got
man.
to read
We are known for we are known for going through all these breakdowns, man. A lot of people talk shit about us, but guess what? They are secret disciples, man. They're
Yep.
learning shit
Oh, yeah.
from us.
Absolutely.
In high places, man.
Ephesians,
Oh yeah.
Ephesians 5, 3 and
Oh,
4.
that's well known.
Somebody.
Watch that goddamn spider.
Oh yeah, I'm watching it.
I'm gonna call her that's a vocab.
But-
vocab spider.
But fornication and uncleanliness or covetousness, let it not be once named among you as becometh saints, neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor jesting, which are not convenient, but rather giving of thanks.
Yeah.
And then sometimes we might throw a little joke out there, a little
But we
undercover
yeah.
joke.
But-
But when it comes to them prophecies, man, we ain't joking
We
about
don't jest
that, man.
about that. Yeah.
And when we talk about the missiles, we ain't joking about no missiles, man.
Nope. Nope.
Like it's some joke.
Yeah.
We know that the missiles are coming because it's in the scriptures.
Yeah.
But it's written in the parabolic talks. It's written as fiery flying serpents. It's written as arrows.
Arrows
Yeah.
up.
It's written as a bow of steel.
Yeah.
The iron
And
weapon.
the iron weapon. All right.
Yeah. Like when Yahushua called his disciples sons of thunder, he was jesting.
Right.
Right.
But when he talked about prophecy, he wasn't jesting.
No.
Right.
It was
right.
all business then.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So Zabak, you better consider what you're saying, man. You know, you better consider what you're saying, because you got souls out there that blindly follow you.
That's right.
And if you blindly follow me, you won't wind up in the right place. You're gonna wind up with the truth. But you shouldn't blindly follow me. You shouldn't blindly follow Apostle Gabar.
Church
you
of
shouldn't
Berea.
nobody got blindly follow Yeshaya and High Priest Ariel.
Yeah.
And whatever they said, that was the word of the Most High. Well, the High Priest Ariel went off on a lot of things.
Yeah.
And to prove that, he's saying that there's a man that's a God sent comforter.
I
Now
got
you think we would have fell for that bullshit?
nah,
If we
hell
were
no.
back there and oh yes, I'm the High Priest Ariel, and I say he's a man. You know what? After Shalom,
David 126, because they wanted us to continue with the Cornelius being the so-called white man, and we were like, nah, we ain't having that, man. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, what is that? What is that? Exodus 23,
Con.
following out the multitude. And then,
God, who he was, he looked at me and said, well, but is it? We already
Yeah,
said
yeah,
we're gonna chill. You know, we knew it was the truth, but we're gonna chill on teaching it. But is it in your mind though? That's when that's
well,
when
that
these
was they came in that wicked
the wicked Pharisee
spirit, man.
Yeah.
Because we said no, we took low, as it says in
Yep.
that 1 Corinthians 6 chapter.
Yep.
Paul said, "Why not take low?"
Yeah.
So we took low. So we take low. No big deal. Then we brought out the thing about casting a lot.
Yeah.
All right.
And
And then
Nate.
Nate jumped up and said that's wicked, which
Right.
he was wicked for saying that,
Right.
because this when Judas Iscariot had to be replaced by one of the two, Joseph or
Matthias.
Matthias.
Yeah.
It fell on Matthias.
Matthias. Yeah.
And how did that come to pass?
By
They
lots.
cast a lot.
Lot, yeah.
So did they do a wicked act to get this guy in? No. They cast a lot to leave it up to the Most High's hand.
Right.
So you guys be playing around. You do your own goddamn thing. You know, you come here to establish your own righteousness.
Yep.
And like I said, that shit of looking up at one man and he's the great
Yeah.
God of the earth, you're going to get deceived by that, man.
Yeah. Like High Priest Ariel, everybody was they deified him, and look what happened there. Remember, our power is a jealous power. And then I think it was the Apostle Paul said
Well, I
that.
never deified.
Yeah. Well, a lot of guys did.
Because I used to question them on a lot of things.
Remember
I
what
used
the
to question all them guys.
That's right. Remember what the Apostle Paul said, roughly paraphrasing, that we ought not to think of men above, highly above what they,
was written.
as we ought to think.
Right.
Roughly paraphrasing.
Yeah, because you got to, walk through the spirit, man. But you do have an order, you know?
This is Exodus 23:2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment.
Read it again.
It says, thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment.
And that's when you wrestle in judgment, meaning we're going to be political. We ain't going to say that because we're going to hurt this guy. We ain't going to use the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahshai because they say, yo, ha, hey, wah, or Yeshua.
That's
so
the-
we're not going to. I said, no, that's the name of the Most High.
That's
Okay,
the
if you got a
unity.
problem with that, I don't have to be here. You got these unity camps that come together.
Yep.
Give me that in what is that? Matthew 7. Take the beam out of thy own eye. Hey, when you come out here, man, you got to take. You got to come correct.
Got it.
Yeah.
Somebody also give me Ezekiel or the 3rd chapter and start from the top. They said eat the whole roll. So
right.
it's obvious somebody's not eating the whole roll.
That's right.
That's obvious. Either we're wrong or they're wrong. And we understand that if you add to this book or take away, the plagues are going to be added unto you, or the kingdom will be taken away from you. We understand that, man. We understand that we can be judged for going out there teaching. Now you say, well, what if I'm sincere? Well, you can still be put to death for being sincere.
That's right.
Yep.
You could be sincerely.
What if you want to pop some woman that's married to a dude because the dude smacked the woman, and you being sincere because you being brother to the woman. And that shit happened back there. Lahab was behind that shit, man. All that adultery going on in that fucking school, man.
Brother to the woman.
That's why the school is no more.
Yep. Hey, that man was picking up sticks. He was doing it innocently enough, and he got put to death on the Sabbath.
That's right.
And what came with that was, from now on, put fringes on your garment. And a lot of guys will tell you, where's your fringes at? Like, yeah, it is a law, but what is the purpose of the fringes? So that you can look at the fringes and keep the law.
It ain't
So
a
you won't
fashion
get stoned
statement.
to death.
A lot of guys think it's a fashion statement.
And a lot of guys think beard is a fashion statement. You know, the Most High said have your beard because he likes beard. No, you can't line your beard up, and there's a lot of you guys lining up your beards, man. Chopping your hair, cutting your hair bald. Go ahead.
This is Matthew's, the 7th chapter, in the 1st verse. Judge not, that ye be not judged. For with what?
So what does it mean to judge not, yet least ye not be judged? I mean, if we judging you pursuant to the scriptures.
Right.
That's what Howard Shaw
You know, if you come to the camp wearing a fucking dress and pumps, we can kick you out the camp. And you say, well, you judge. You damn right. The scripture says, speaks about a man dressing up as a fucking woman.
Where's the
Judge
woman's
righteous
clothes?
And we ain't gonna give you no 6 months off, brother. You out. You might get your ass kicked too.
Yeah.
You might get your ass. You come with a fucking dress on, a fucking short mini skirt with your fucking hairy ass legs,
Yeah, I got it.
with a fucking wig.
Cool.
You might get fucked up.
Quick precept for you.
I'm
John.
not saying that we're gonna do that.
John.
Let me just put it to you this way: you're gonna be out of there. All right, I've repented, brother. You know, I just stay Most High.
Hey, well, that one crazy-looking dude admitted he was having sex with men.
Oh yeah.
Let's see what happened to him.
Yeah, he came. I said, nigga, what? Nigga, you the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah.
You go in the camp, hold the post, speaking, you know, cursing out flaggers, but then you got numbers of other dudes you're gonna pop. You're gonna get with, man.
Pinging.
So you made the Most High destroy you, man.
Yeah. John 12:47. And if any man hear my words and believe not, I judge him not. For I came, now this is Yahweh Shai speaking. For I came not to judge the world, but to save the world. He that rejecteth me and receiveth not my words have one that judgeth him. The word that I have spoken, the same shall judge him in the last day. For I have not spoken of myself, but the Father which sent me, he gave me a commandment, what I should say and what I should speak.
Yeah, now going back to Exodus 23, thou shalt not follow the multitude to do evil. But you're saying, well, I know that this guy teaches that, you know, Edomites can make it because his mother's an Edomite, you know?
Right.
And you got to tell him, you said, look, man, if you teach, first of all, don't be around me because you're going off.
Right.
You're teaching something that's not conducive to this truth. And we still got Ephesians, right? Ephesians 4. Let's read that.
This is the book of
Also,
Ephesians.
give me a teacher's having an itching ear.
It's First Timothy.
If you know where it is, just let me know. I'll get it.
1 Timothy 4.
Okay. That's what it sounds like. Yep.
Ephesians 4:1. I therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, beseech you that you walk worthy of the vocation wherewith ye are called, with all lowliness and meekness, with long
Where
suffering.
you reading from?
Ephesians 4
Go ahead.
and 1. I'm now to verse 2. With all lowliness and meekness, with long suffering, forbearing one another in love, It says, endeavoring to keep the bond of peace.
How can you keep the unity of the spirit when one guy's teaching the mark of the beast is a potato chip? Or it's an embargo? Huh? How can you come in the unity of faith if you say Edomites can make it? Or there's a thing called mermaids.
Oh, Lord.
You know, or giants. There were actual giants, but the giants in Genesis 6 is not talking about actual giants, and it's not talking about angels.
Right.
It's talking about the sons of the Most High. Oh, you had a number of groups teaching that 2019, we're going to be out of here because it's the fulfillment of the 400-year prophecy in Genesis, the 15th chapter. All right?
Got a quick precept. Isaiah 30 and 9 and 10. This is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of the Lord, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things.
Well, that's a good one. What were you at?
Isaiah 30 and 9.
Go ahead.
I'll read it again. It says that this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of the Lord.
Yeah, because they want to come in their way. That's why these churches are so full. Because in the church, you know what one of the famous slogans of a church, come as you are.
Yeah.
You know, you can be a transgender and come into the church. You know, you can be you can be pretty much anything you want.
Yep.
Come into the church. Well, you just can't come into this thing the way you are, man. You got to change, like I told Nicodemus.
That's right.
You must be born again. And that's why a lot of guys fall off, because they never came into this thing naked. They were never born again. They came in with their aspirations and their thought and their philosophy and what their uncle taught them, what their mother taught them, what their grandmother taught them, what they learned in school. You bring that. You ain't supposed to bring that in the truth, man. When you come into this truth, you're starting all over again. That's why when people fall off, what do? They no longer Israelites. They no longer Israelites, man. They really become atheists because they don't believe in the Most High.
That's right.
And they come against the book. And then what do? They come against the men that taught them, man. Give me that in Matthew's, what was it, Matthew 7?
Matthew.
What is it, Matthew 7:6, I believe?
Gone.
You know what I want, cast not exactly.
Matthew 7 and 6. It says, give not that which is holy unto the dogs.
Yes, so we don't know who's coming in. There's guys that come in, listen to the videos, and come to the camp, and they're diligent for a year, 2 years, 5 years, and all of a sudden, they bug the fuck out, and we're the worst things on the planet. And everything that we taught was nothing but wickedness.
Right.
That the Most High is really dealing with them. And like I noticed, and I'll probably do a video on it, that Nazariah, and I'm not the former head of GMS Detroit. If you go onto the ITR Israelite page, the last time he did a video was five weeks ago. And then the video, when you watch it, you can see their faces that they don't want to do it no more. And then this guy, the last time he did a video was like 3 months ago. And if you listen to the video, all he did was mangle everything up, you know?
It says, give not...
But now that I've been talking about it, all of a sudden they're going to pop out and start doing videos. Why? Because I said something about it.
Yeah.
And guess what? You can do your videos, but guess what? Give you a couple of months and you're going to dwindle down to nothing, man.
What was that? Jeremiah 48 and 10. Cursed be he that doeth the work of the Lord deceitfully.
Yep,
So they're losing anyway. If they do the work of the Lord deceitfully, you already done lost.
It says, give not that which is holy unto the dogs, neither cast ye your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn again and rend you.
And that's exactly what they do. You give them the truth, they come at the truth, then their number one enemy is not Esau no more.
Yeah.
You know?
It's their teacher.
It's their teacher.
Yeah.
They don't say nothing about Esau. They don't say nothing bad about Esau. They don't say nothing bad about the system. They don't say nothing bad about so-called homosexuals. Knowing you how wicked you are.
Right.
And that's why we're not going to shed a tear when the Most High start killing these jakes, man.
That's it on that?
Yeah, that was it. Yep. I
If
still
I may.
got more in Ephesians, but when you finish.
Okay, I'll just read that again. Isaiah 30 and 10, because this got Zabak written all over it, man. And not just him, but guys that are rebellious like him.
You know, it's not like we're saying let's just get on Zabak.
No. I'm
But
just.
Zabak, you brought it back up.
He's the top guy right now.
The top guy right now. But the statement, whether you meant it or not, you made the statement that, oh, what if you take the chip and then the last minute you pull it out? So I made mockery. I said, what you gonna do? Like the Predator?
Right.
You gonna take out that?
Oh,
you know
yeah.
how you had to and cut the shit open and
Right. And then
Then he let out a howl.
you know what he mean? That's what you're gonna do, Sabak? You're gonna take out that thing and you're gonna then that music in the background.
Yeah.
Cinemagic.
Yeah,
Go do the music. Do the music.
You gotta do it.
No, really.
That's one of the embarrassing stuff.
No,
I'll
I
do
didn't.
the
We
music.
yeah. We can do the yell.
You know, this is a you, Satan. You know, then it blows up.
Yeah.
Put a band-aid on it.
Nigga, you've been watching, and like one brother said, you've been watching too many Manchurian Candidate movies, man.
He thinks it's a joke, and it ain't.
It
ain't a goddamn
It
joke.
won't be a joke when the missiles hit the atmosphere and you see motherfuckers beamed up and your ass is hanging out with Esau. You know what I'm saying? When the ship gonna come get you.
Yeah.
This ain't no fucking joke, man.
That movie, The Belko Experiment, the guy was trying to take the chip out of his head.
Oh yeah, that's a good example. Yeah, and the chip blew up. Isaiah 39 and 10.
And you might pull the chip out, your ass might blow, your hair might blow off.
Yeah.
But then you might make it.
Isaiah 39 and 10.
Your
That
right
this,
hand offended, you cut it off. Well then, maybe you're right, brother. Just have a cleaver with you. Okay, if you're gonna follow the way as a buck, and we're having fun with this thing, sometimes you can have fun.
Right.
Just have a meat cleaver with you at all times.
Sharp.
You know, you got the chip in you. You know, you scan it all over the place. Getting hot dogs and shit, going to the movies.
Weenies.
Going swimming with your kids. Yeah, and the chip, boom. You know, go to Disney World with the chip. You know, start your car up with the fucking chip. You know, you ain't got no toilet paper. You hit the wall, boom, toilet paper pop up with the chip. But have that meat cleaver. And then make sure you have a table. And make sure you have the balls.
Yep.
The fucking cojones to chop your fuck you, Satan.
Boom.
Boom.
whatever.
If you want to play that game, man,
Yeah.
the Most High might fuck your shit up. He might make you get the chip, and he might give you a stroke. What if you get a stroke? You're gonna get that meat cleaver, and you stroking up. You
can't move.
Then if you get the meat cleaver, here come the ships, and you get stroked up. What you gonna do then?
Yeah, when Zabak said that, what happened to the scripture? Sound speech that
And that's
cannot
not sound at all.
sound speech that cannot be condemned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Anyway, I'll
And then
finish
these
reading
other
this.
guys,
Oh, man.
and these, you gotta have fun with it.
Yeah.
Hey, and then these other guys from these other camps are not correcting them.
Nope.
Yeah.
Why? Because they believe the same thing.
Yeah.
They don't believe that the mark of the beast is the microchip.
Yeah, Isaiah 39 and 10, that this is a rebellious people, and that's an example what that guy's doing. Lying children, because he's straight up lying to you. And then you know what? When you go to that video, when you read the comment section, even his own guys was getting on him.
No.
They're all getting on him.
Even sisters would curse you out, man.
Yeah,
Man.
saying you
Oh,
lying.
you're wrong on that one.
Yep.
TMS got it. They got you. And then one guy said, I'm not going to
Listen to you no more. That's right. So you lying, man. That this is a rebellious children, lying children, children that will not hear the law of the Lord. And here it is, we're bringing out the law of the Lord, and he won't hear it because of his pride.
Right.
Yeah, being rebellious. And 1 Samuel 15 and 23, rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. So
Yeah, because the Most High, where is that in the scriptures when you read about the mark of the beast? Matter of fact, give me Revelation 14 and start at 8.
Got it.
Then go to Revelation 15 and 2. Then go to Revelation 16 and 2.
Revelation chapter 14, verse 8. And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead.
Now, did it say, and receive his mark on his forehead, on his hand, but if he takes it out right before the missiles hit, he be good. Read again.
And a third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his
A
image.
lot of these guys don't even know who the beast is.
Yeah, that's right.
See what the beast is. Hey, we asked some of the brothers about the two hordes.
Yeah,
Really to put them on the spot, you know? Because in order for you to teach this truth, you got to know this truth, man.
it.
And if you're reading from one verse and then some Christian comes along, you know, the verse above that say,
Yeah, right.
what you want to do? Hey, you're that devil!
Yeah, right.
You're that devil!
Yeah, that's what they resort to.
Name calling.
You know? Yeah, well, when they ain't got no ammunition, that's what they resort to. Yeah, the devil! Come on, man. That's played out.
Go ahead.
And a third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive...
And who's the image? The image is not a picture of Caesar Borgia.
Hell no.
IUIC teaches that. It's Caesar Borgia. No, they ain't gonna come out and say, well, first of all, there's the beast right there, some big monster.
Yeah.
Donald Trump as in a statue. And you gotta bow down to Donald Trump. And then they go, okay, that's good. That's step number one. You passed the first test. Now this is the second test. Bam! They pull out a picture, a picture of Caesar Borgia. You gotta worship this guy. and then okay, now that you passed the second test, the mark, we're gonna give you the mark, which is the Christian church. You know? Read again, please.
And a third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image.
Hey, wait a
Now,
minute.
If you join the military, right?
Yeah.
Guess what? You worshiping the beast because you're doing what they tell you to do. If they tell you got to go to sleep, any military that you join in the U.S. and on, you a slave for 7 years.
Yep.
Government issue, right?
That's it.
It's
GI.
called government issue, right?
Yeah.
You got to eat what they tell you to eat. They don't give you a menu. They don't left, right, left.
Yeah.
Here's your menu.
Yeah.
Pass the menu.
Right.
What do you want? Pizza?
Right.
McDonald's?
Filet
Right.
mignon.
You know? Burger Inn? Now what do you want?
Yeah.
No, it
Wendy's.
doesn't work that way.
Hell no.
If they're making Salisbury steak with macaroni and cheese on the side and peas and carrots and rice and apple juice, that's what everybody gonna motherfucking eat, man.
That's it.
That's it.
And then you're gonna go, come out at the same time. You gonna get up at Reveille.
Yep.
You know, Reveille, you gotta get up. You ain't gonna say, well, you ain't gonna have your cell phone talking about I'm gonna hit the snooze button.
button. Yeah.
Right.
If they tell you gotta do 2 miles, 5 miles, whatever the case may be, you gotta do it.
That's it. They tell you to kill whoever, you got to kill
When
them.
you go out to war, when you go to another country, you're outside the jurisdiction of the United States, but you're inside the jurisdiction of the military.
Right.
So you're under the jurisdiction. That's why they can bring charges against you in another country, because they brought that jurisdiction with them through a contract.
Yep.
Okay?
Maritime law.
Maritime law. So that's worshiping the beast. If you're part of the system,
Right.
you got people that have government.
Jobs.
You got people at government positions where they got to do certain things. There's certain laws where if there's a strike, you can't go as emergency worker. Emergency worker can't go on. Firemen can't say we're going on strike because that's an emergency thing. That saves lives.
Yeah.
You know, you just can't do what the hell you want to do.
Right. Oh, when they had 9/11, didn't all the firemen have to report?
They don't have the firemen that came out of other states.
Right.
All right?
Most of them got cancer, by the way.
That's it. The ones died, and some of them died later on. They slowly died
yeah.
from cancer, man. You know? Once you sign on to something, man, you know, you in it, man.
That's it.
And it's hard to get out. So you got some jakes that have went into the military and said this is bullshit, and they found a way to get out, to get discharged, whether it's honorably discharged or dishonorably discharged, you know?
Right. I
And
just
then
made
your contract is covered. But any of you that join the military, and they already doing it right now, but they tell these military people, a lot of them is Jake too. You know how many Jakes is in the military?
Yep. Yeah.
You know how many of our women is in the military? And they all gonna go over there to die in the Middle East.
That's
They're
it.
not coming back.
That's it. Yeah, I just made an observation. The 9th verse, it says, the third angel followed, saying with a loud voice. So the angel wasn't kidding. The angel wasn't joking, you know?
Right.
He said it with a loud voice. And he was very direct, you know?
Alazar, priest Alazar, high, super high, fantastic high priest, whatever his title is.
Grand
chief,
potentate.
Grand Poobah,
Yeah, Grand Poobah.
Alizé, high priest extraordinaire. They had that little get together, and then somebody said, there ain't nothing wrong with having different doctrines as long as you get along and brotherly.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Scriptures
That's
teach
not even
against.
scriptural, man.
Yeah.
That's not scriptural.
Oh no,
But
brother.
then he said,
yeah.
but then Alazar
Spite
hugged
of
up
you.
on
But it's kind of back there. It's coming down.
Alazar hugged up on Zabak, piece of Zabak or whatever. And he told him about the mark of the beast.
Yeah.
And
Right.
wait a minute, you don't tell somebody like that. Hey, if there's a bridge down and cars are coming, you don't laugh and the bridge is down.
Right.
Because people are gonna say
This guy's a clown.
Crazy, yeah.
They're gonna
But
say
if
he's a
you're
clown.
like, the bridge is down.
Yeah.
You say there's a spirit
With
behind
authority.
it, man.
Authority.
Well,
yeah,
like
yeah.
the angel.
So
the-
you didn't come. So hey, so Alazar, you're guilty of not defending the gospel, man.
Yeah.
You should have told him straight up and down, man.
Yeah.
Look, man, the mark of the beast is a microchip. All right, ain't no fucking John 3:16 or
Yep.
the Roman Catholic Church or damn philosophy or bowing down to the image of Caesar Borgia. Damn it, it's the actual chip.
Yep.
And they already got, how hard can it make it for you, man?
Sure.
Or how easy?
Yeah.
They're already doing it, man. They got a thing called chip parties in Europe.
Yeah. That company in Wisconsin.
Three square market.
3 square market. And like I said, and I'll repeat it again, the angel wasn't kidding. It clearly says it here. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man.
That's
So
a
the
warning.
angel wasn't kidding. The angel was direct. The angel was forceful.
Yeah, it's a warning.
It's a warning.
Yeah, because when them plagues, when the Most High started bringing them last plagues on this world, ain't nobody gonna be telling jokes.
Hell no.
All the comedy clubs are gonna be shut down, man.
Yeah. It's gonna be some serious shit, man.
All them different comedians and stand-up comedians and shit,
Oh
they're
man.
gonna be crying and shitting in their pants and running down the street,
Hell yeah.
man.
Men's hearts
Looking for-
failing them
Men's heart failing them
for fear.
of the things that are coming upon the earth. We're living in some serious
times,
man.
man.
Give me that perilous time shall come.
Con.
I had a quick priest before he gets there.
Go ahead.
So this is Romans
I know where it
16:17.
No.
It says, now I beseech you, brethren, mark
precept I was
them
thinking about
which
this.
cause divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them.
Now, you might say, well, High Priest Ariad never taught us about the mark of the beast, so, well, that's true, but we're teaching you, man. And we're the authorities. We are whether you know it or not, man, contrary to popular belief,
Right.
GMS is the #1 camp on the planet Earth when it comes to
Yeah,
prophecy.
maybe.
Well, that's a video. GMS is numero uno when it comes to prophecy.
There's only one way.
Yeah.
You can't have, 100 ways and expect to be delivered. You got
Well, didn't you read that? Didn't you read that in Ephesians? One baptism, one faith.
But yeah, we
Ephesians 4 and
we
5.
still got it.
Yeah, let's keep reading from Ephesians.
All right, so we're going back to Ephesians 4. I believe I was at verse 4. Ephesians chapter 4, Salakia, and verse 4. It says, there is one body and one spirit, even as you are called in one hope of your calling, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one power and Father of all, who is above all and through all and in you all.
Read on.
But unto every one of us is given grace according to the measure of the gift of Yahushai. Wherefore he saith, when he ascended up on high, he led captivity captive and gave gifts unto men. Now that he ascended, Salaka, just lost my place. Up far above. Now that he ascended, what is it but that he also descended first into the low?
Okay, so now that's a whole topic right there. How did he ascend? How did he ascend?
Yeah, when he was resurrected.
When he was resurrected in a cloud, which was a UFO.
Right.
Son.
The Christians can't see that. They don't understand the concept of so-called UFOs. And the way he went up is the same way he's going
coming
back,
yeah.
coming back down. You know?
Yeah.
But that he also
Want me
descended
to put it in the
first.
truck?
but that he also descended first into the lower parts of the earth.
So what did that mean? Now you got Christians saying that he actually went down to hell.
Yeah.
No, he was put in the grave. He was put in the sepulcher.
Right. Yep.
All right, so his body began to decompose. So on the fourth day, the Most High rebuilt back his body and put the spirit back in him and rose him back up. Ain't no place, ain't no thing called hell. And that's the cut right there. So you can ask Christians, well, look, when the Lord went to hell, was he burning? Did he burn up for 3 days? So the Most High allowed his son, beloved son, to burn for 3 days and 3 nights? Show you how stupid them Christians are, man.
Yeah.
He that descended is the same also that ascended up far above all heavens, that he might fill
Now,
all
what do you mean
things.
by far above all heaven?
Spirit
And
one.
he went into the spiritual realm. He went into the heavens of heaven.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and
He
some.
didn't give no niggas. He didn't just grab a bunch of jakes and just gave them the truth. These apostles and these prophets were men. The apostles were prophets in the past.
Right.
One was Jeremiah, one was Isaiah, one was this prophet, one was Ezekiel.
Right.
You know, one was Zephaniah. One was Moses. You had different prophets, and they always come back. And you come back in your order. So give me 1 Corinthians 14, verse 32. The spirit of the prophets is subject to the prophets. This is not no thing where you come into this. You a guy walking down the street and you hear the Israelites, you like what they say, you get into it and you study, and then you become this great. No. If you become a great man in this thing, that means you did this in another life.
Right.
Yep. First
Wolfgang Amadeus came back as Prince.
Yeah.
Can you see?
You know, Beethoven came back as Stevie Wonder. So it wasn't that. How could he get on? The music was already in them.
Yeah.
Just like this word is already in us.
Yep.
It's a gift.
It's a gift. Go ahead.
1 Corinthians 14 and 32. And the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets.
So what does that mean? If you're a prophet now, that means you was a prophet in the past. All right?
You want the one in Daniel?
Yeah, get
12. Daniel 12 and
Get Isaiah
34:17.
Isaiah. You said 34.
I mean, I'm not there. No, I said it wrong.
You mean 30?
I meant
34, 16.
16, down to 7.
Or 17, yeah.
Daniel 12 and 13. But go thou thy way till the end be, for thou shalt rest and stand in thy lot at the end of the days.
Yeah, the end of the days is the last day. So Daniel is very well among us.
Yeah, the point is in 17.
His lot was to be a prophet.
His lot
That's
was
his
to be
portion.
a prophet. Yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
This is Isaiah 34, verse 16. It says on down. It says, seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail. None shall want her mate. For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them. And he hath cast the lot for them, and his hand hath divided it unto them by line.
So what does that mean? The Most High said that one prophet, he said, I'm going to give this prophet one book. That's how Obadiah. That's an important book too in the scriptures.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
only one chapter long, but that was given to, that lot was given to, you know, a lot, right? Lands are cut up by lots. When you build a house on the land, it's called a lot. All right?
Guess they can't see.
Yeah, it's called a lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you have a lot, like if you go down to D.C. now, Washington, D.C. was a marsh. And what they did was they broke them up into lots, and they numbered them. Now where they put Capitol Hill, that whole area, that lot right there, marsh, you know what lot number that was? 666.
Yeah.
So they knew about the 666 back during the time of the so-called founding forefathers.
Yeah.
They were warlocks when they came over here, man.
Oh yeah, everything was all planned.
Yeah, planned, yeah.
It was all
All
planned.
those guys are Masons.
Yeah.
Masons just secretly mean you're a warlock, you're a witch.
Yep.
Yeah. And plus they knew who they were coming to conquer. They knew
They
that
knew it.
they were the Israelites.
Says thou art wiser than Daniel. The elite knows. The average Joe Cracker that when you look at a guy like Dr. James White, the Edomite, you don't know what the fuck.
Right. All he,
Vocab Malone.
yeah, another clown.
Dr. Michael Heisen.
Yeah, clowns. Those are
They
clowns.
don't know what's going on.
Yeah. They're low level.
They're low level. It's the super elite that you never hear about, man.
Yep.
I got something real quick.
Go ahead.
Well, we always say what you don't see is greater than what you do see.
Yep.
You see those guys, that proves they ain't great.
Right.
Yep. Hey, last week we was in the hood, now we in the jungle.
Yeah. But usually what you don't see is greater than what you do see, you know?
And I'm thinking when they put all night.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She had the hair shit crawling around.
Probably worse.
And she having nightmares. Fucking spiders.
Spider,
coming out of
yeah.
trees and
Wolves,
shit.
wolves,
Yeah, wolves hollering in the background and shit.
hyena.
But by where I live, late at night, there's an owl, and the owl goes, woo, 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 woo. Hey, that shit sound like you walking, you know, you hear that sound. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Because I got a lot of woods where I live, you know. The owl that's how the owl sounds. It's just one owl.
And
it's loud, too.
Hey, dude, have leprosy, you got to be in the woods, you know, in the wilderness. He gonna get into that fetal position quick. He gonna,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's hide somewhere.
he goes breaking up and shit.
Yeah. Like a deer in the woods.
That's it.
Every little twitch, the deers.
That's it. Every little twitch you make,
Yeah.
I'm on your ass.
This,
Fight or flight.
Con. This is Romans 12:6. Having then gifts differing according to the grace that is given to us, whether prophecy, let us prophesy according to the proportion of faith.
Hold up, it's all about prophecy, man. We're in the time of prophecy. Who's the most important man? The prophet.
Yeah.
So if you call yourself a prophet, then you got to get the prophecies right.
You got to get it right.
That's right.
Can't be
You can't be saying
half-assing
the
it.
mark of the beast is embargo.
Yeah.
Or
We don't-
philosophy.
the Lord don't care how pretty you dress up. How many bells and whistles you got on.
Well, that's why a lot of people join them groups because they you know. Well, even Gina Blue said that. They asked her why. Vocab said, "Why did you join all the groups?" Because they were all in uniform. Which to me meant that they were unified.
Yeah.
Well, the Farrakhan does the same thing. They all got the nice suits, and that's why Jake, you know, if you dress, you know, so, these guys hate the dress because you want to see that.
Like John the Baptist.
Yeah.
They didn't want to believe him because of the way he looked.
Right.
Then Howard Shah said that. What do you expect to see?
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Hey, they have gay clothing are in King's
Yeah,
House.
that's it.
The prophets are out of this world.
That's it.
Anomalies.
Or soft raiment.
Yeah, the prophets didn't dress all pretty, man.
And the prophets didn't take winters off, man. You know?
Yeah. Hey, the scriptures say you shall not countenance a poor man. You know, like if you have a poor man that's not dressed properly, don't look down on him because you don't know who that man is.
That's it.
I got a quick preset, Revelation 14 and
Hey, because
14 and 3.
I see that you know, I see a lot of those camps being broken up. I see all them camps being broken up. And then what's going to be left is the chosen.
Yeah.
Then it shall be known who am I chosen. And actually, I did a video on that last video I did.
You know, a lot of guys, the idea of brotherly unity is all going to a cookout.
Right.
And everybody, you know, a bunch
And
of niggas
there's
sitting.
Really, there's really nothing wrong with it, but then again, there is something wrong with it.
Yeah. Sitting, eating
'Cause,
chicken, talking
what's
shit.
What's the saying? Too much familiarity
breeds contempt.
breeds contempt, man.
You got the young guy with the old guy. They all sitting there eating, laughing, talking shit. And that's the idea of brotherly unity. Brotherly. But when it comes to the doctrine, anybody can teach whatever they want to teach. You know?
Yeah, the Most High is not dealing with y'all. The Most High is not dealing with y'all.
Just a quick precept about the prophets. Revelation 14. Revelation 14 and is that sackcloth?
Is that 11th chapter?
11, yeah, that's like it. Revelation 11 and 3. And I will give power unto my 2 witnesses, and they shall prophesy, there's that word again, 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth. Now, when you look that word up, right, in the Greek, the word there is sakkos, which means a garment of mourning or mourning. So we're supposed to be in a state of mourning. We ain't supposed to be in a state of pomp and you know, dressing all nice, and you know, we're going to do that in the kingdom. Now ain't the time for that. We're going to dress nice in the kingdom.
Yeah, well, the garments that we're supposed to have on is
Humble garments.
the
Lowly.
garments that we're supposed to have on is this knowledge. That's
true,
what
yeah.
Spiritually, that's what it is. When you go to Revelation 16, you can go to that. That's around about the 12, 13 verse about being naked. And then you can go to Matthew 22 about the wedding.
Revelation 16 and which one? What verse?
Around about the 12th verse, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. 11, 12, 13 verse. It might be below that.
Could you quote it? Like,
Unless
15. Okay.
15.
Revelation 16 and 15. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments.
And the scriptures, they're thinking you have to have your clothes with you. No, it's talking about the knowledge.
Right.
It's talking about this knowledge, man.
It tells you that Ephesians the 6th chapter to wear the
Yeah,
truth.
that's it. That's
You
it.
know?
See, if you're teaching that, well, we're the Israelites and Esau's the so-called white man and Babylon the Great is Vatican City, well, guess what? You're losing, you're missing part of your armor.
Right.
All right?
Yeah, it says put on the whole armor.
Put on the
put
whole
on the whole
armor,
armor,
which means eat the whole roll.
Now, what about the Church of
The
Berea?
Most High deals with wholes, man.
Yeah.
Right.
He don't deal with parts. He deals with the whole thing.
That's right.
Yeah, the
100%.
Church of Berea, didn't they check what the Apostle Paul said? Now, what if he would have went off on a few things? Wouldn't they have said to him, hey, Paul, you kind of went off on this, you went off on that, you know?
Yep.
No, his doctrine was ironclad, it was solid.
Solid. No holes in it.
No holes in
Yeah,
it.
you have unction, holy one, you know all things. The word unction means you were anointed with oil.
Yeah.
This goes back to Matthew 25. See, these guys like Nazariah and I'm not the former head of DMF Detroit. These guys, they had only so much doing it no more.
Yep.
Go ahead. Where we at?
Your precept?
No.
I mean, I still got Ephesians.
Let's go back to Ephesians.
I got
Ephesians.
Ephesians chapter 4 and
Somebody
11.
got Galatians 1 verse 6, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, we can read that. Go back to Ephesians. Let's go.
And he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and teachers for the perfecting of the saints,
What does the word perfect mean? To be perfect.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
for the work.
Hey, in gymnastics, back in the day, you had Olga Korbut, and she got from Russia, and she got 10s down every event that she was in. She got 10. 10. That means perfect. You didn't mess up like once. Then you had years later, you had Nadia Comaneci.
Nadia
Oh,
Coleman,
yeah.
I remember her.
Remember?
Well, I remember Olga Korbut, man.
Yeah.
Them chicks are bad. They would do a routine, and at the end of their routine, they would stop. They were perfect. And you know what? All the judges would put up 10.
Yeah.
That means perfect.
Yeah.
That means I see not one flaw in your routine.
That's it. Quick precept for you, Matthew 5 and 48. Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. Yahweh Shai said that.
Yep.
And then 1 Corinthians 2 and 6, it says this. It says,
Yeah, and that perfecting came through constantly being involved in practicing and doing
Well, the Most High working through you.
yeah, this Holy
Most High
Spirit.
working through you.
Holy Spirit, yeah. 1 Corinthians 2 and 6, it says, howbeit we speak wisdom among them that are perfect, yet not the wisdom of this world, nor of the princes of this world that come to naught.
Yeah, the princes of this world that come to naught are the ones the people that come against us. Anybody that was a part of our group that went off, they came to naught. What happened to Patah? What happened to all them guys that fell off in the past?
It came to naught.
They came to naught. You don't know what they're doing. What the hell are they doing?
Back in the world.
7th verse, but we speak the wisdom of the Heavenly Father in the mystery.
Said we speak to Heavenly Father in the mystery, right? Now that mutant Kevin, you know who I'm talking about, right?
yeah,
the guy that was down.
Yep. Yep.
I call him the mutant. I call him Kevin the mutant, man.
Yeah, he called us a virus, right?
Yeah, he called us a virus. Well, if we're a virus, We are a virus. We're a righteous virus.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, you're a mutant. Even a mutant, man.
Yep.
You know, you do everything.
Tell about.
And you dived out too.
Dived out the window.
Go ahead.
Back in Ephesians 4:12, for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying.
Hold up, for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry. What is the ministry? What we're doing right now. When we're going out there on the highways and the byways, and we're doing the sit downs, and people are getting answers, man.
Yep.
And a lot of times they'll ask, well, could you break this down for me? Could you tell me what this means and what did you mean by this verse? And then we'll do a video on it. If the video ain't already up there, man. So you got to come first and then go out and teach. Eat this roll and go out and teach the sons of Israel.
Yep.
The house of Israel.
That's it.
So if you take a couple of bites, you ain't ate the roll, man. You ain't listened to the Most High.
Got to eat the whole
And
thing.
in the scriptures, we quoted earlier, sound speech which cannot be condemned.
That's it.
So, you know, what Zabak was saying, that ain't sound speech.
Yeah. Let your speech be always with salt, season.
Yes, always salt, seasoned with salt, mean with knowledge.
Yep.
And we bring out knowledge. When the prophecy said he spake as a dragon, we went into it. The Draco legislation. I mean, what more do you need?
Yep. Yeah, the penalty of either some type of punishment, either
Yeah.
getting locked up or
Or the
put to
chip,
death.
I'm sorry, the guillotine,
Guillotine, yep.
which the Apostle John in Revelation beheaded. So
Yeah,
you think that's a laughing matter,
Yeah,
Zabak?
they ain't gonna be a laughing matter when they actually make it mandatory, man. You know, they did in Europe because Europe, first of all, they're Edomites, so if they don't take it, they still going into slavery.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be hard. See, Esau has a thing called think tank. They think about things and they figure out ways to get at us. Well, wait a minute, they said this, well, we'll get them on that. Well, now what they're thinking of is how can we introduce the chip? Because you know what? You're going to have a lot of resistance when the chip comes out from Edomites.
Yeah.
From the Bible Belt.
Yeah.
You got a lot of
absolutely.
Edomites. You got a lot of Edomites down. Hey, this is going to be a test, brother. We're going to bring certain brothers and they got to camp out here by themselves.
At night.
At night. Shit, I'll do it. Shit, I
this is straight-
used to do that in Colorado, man.
This is
We
the
used to
straight
out
of
in the
woods
fucking
out here. Man.
And brother, I used to love that shit, man. You didn't need an alarm clock. That fucking cold woke your ass up.
Yeah.
That cold will hit you, whoop. You wake up, oh, shit, it's 4:30 in the morning. Anyway, what was I saying? Shit. What was I saying?
Talking about the chip, right? The
Oh, yeah.
legislation.
The thing that's going to be hard about putting in the chip is the fact that you got a lot of people that know about this chip, mainly Edomites.
Yeah.
And what does it say? It says the children of this world are wiser than the
Children
children
of light.
Of light.
of light. And the children of light are the Israelites. So you got the children of this world, which are Esau, that know more about the scriptures than you.
Well,
You ever watch Jeopardy when they go to the scriptural part? Them
Yeah.
Edomites go through it like that.
Yep. Like water.
They'll say, who is this? Who is the understudy of Elijah? Elisha? You know, who was Peter's brother? Andrew? You know?
Yep.
Now you ask Jake that. Well, I gotta get back more into my book. Because you niggas don't know shit. When your black ass go to church, what do? You dance,
Sing and dance all
act a fucking fool, man.
Yeah. Call yourself catching the Holy Spirit.
Praise break.
The Holy
That's
Ghost.
the Most High gotta fucking kill you, man.
It's simple as hell. Well, the
That's
Lord said
It's
it.
simple to be in the fucking church. Now, I used to go to church when I was a kid,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the only reason why I went to church to get with them girls.
Well, every
When I was 10, 11 years old, because I knew about women, man. I didn't come off that short yellow bus like a lot of you niggas did.
comedy movie, they always
I
go.
didn't come off the triple bus, niggas.
Yeah, every comedy movie, they always have the scene where they go in church.
Yeah.
Because it's like a gold mine for comedy.
Yep.
You know? They always have a scene where they go in church and they show people.
Oh, the black church is a comedy.
It's
You
a
know how
gold
many-
mine for
you know how
comedy.
many- that's a comedy. That's a comedy. Esau knows that's a fucking comedy, man.
Yeah,
You know if you go to the Baptist church, you ain't gonna learn a damn fucking thing, man.
that's right. And that's why Jeremiah 4:22, the Lord said, my people are foolish, for they have not known me. They are sottish children. You look up the word churches, which, by the way, the Lord called them harlot houses. That's in, Jeremiah 5:22. He called your churches harlot houses. Because that's what goes on in there. Nothing but whoredom, man.
You're not going to see somebody with a PhD, a professor, a scientist. You're not going to see him going to the Baptist church. Because logic will tell him that that's all bullshit.
Yeah, it's all nonsense.
Where we at?
Yeah, what scripture where Yahushua danced up and down? Well, we know King David danced.
Right.
All right, and there was a reason why he danced.
Yeah, because the Lord delivered him.
The Lord delivered him. But what scripture Yahushua was foaming at the mouth and
No, hold up. When you read, was it Matthew 4, Luke 4, when you read it, the first time that the Lord opened up the scroll,
yeah.
there wasn't no dancing and singing.
No, hell no. He actually read the
He
scripture.
actually read it and said, he got up, got the salute,
Yep.
read it, and said, this day had this
Scripture
prophecy
Been fulfilled in your ears, yeah.
in your ears.
Yep.
They didn't have no praise break.
No.
Yeah, and then he closed the book.
Yep. When they was on the mount, when the transfiguration with Moses on one side of the Lord and
Elijah
on the other side, they wasn't dancing, man.
Yeah.
Moses and Elijah wasn't.
Yeah, shucking.
They wouldn't do it. They wasn't shucking. Doing this shit, man.
Yeah.
Like them niggas in slavery, they did a thing called a cakewalk. And the cakewalk is when they doing that shit, which they were emulating the master. They used to look it up. The cakewalk, man.
Cakewalk.
So that goes back to slavery, the cakewalk.
And that goes back to the church.
Wow.
You know? Where we at? Let's go back to Ephesians.
Okay, back in Ephesians chapter 4, verse end of 12. For the edifying of the body of Yahushai, till we all come in the unity of the faith.
Unity. How do you come into unity of the faith? By that you all teach the same thing.
Speak the same thing, yeah.
So if there was a couple of situations years back where you had certain brothers break down certain scriptures wrong, and we would get on the phone and say, look, brother, you broke that down wrong.
That's right.
And we show them, forgive me, brother, I went off,
Yeah. Yeah, like the Cornelius thing, man.
All GMS camps teach the same thing about Cornelius.
That's right.
You ask them about the Cornelius thing, they all going to say Cornelius is the Israelite.
That's right.
You ask them about the mark of the beast, the mark of the beast, they're going to all teach the same thing, that it's the microchip.
Yep.
Yep.
It says, and of the knowledge of the Son of the Most High, unto a perfect man.
There's that word perfect again.
There goes perfect again, man. You cannot be perfect when you got a bunch of guys coming together with different doctrines, man.
That's confusion.
That's nothing but confusion. The Lord is not the author of confusion.
Confusion, yeah.
It says, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Yahushua.
Oh, wasn't it Apostle Paul that said, is Yahushua divided? Was Paul crucified for you? Yahushua is not divided.
It says that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro, and carried about with every wind of doctrine.
So some nigga come up with some new thing. Oh, the 400-year prophecy. You had a lot of Jake flock to that.
Right.
Oh, the year 2000 prophecy that Ariel came up with. What happened when that came? That's when a lot of Israelites went back into the world, man.
Yeah.
The year to when Mo died in 1999, and then when speak, man.
Yeah, this is 1 Corinthians 14, verse 26. How is it then, brethren, when ye come together, every one of you hath a psalm, hath a doctrine, hath a tongue, hath a revelation, hath an interpretation. Let all things be done unto edifying.
Right. And you can't edify if everybody's teaching a different doctrine.
Yeah. Right.
This is why I keep saying, that you come in the unity of the faith.
Yeah. Right.
That you all speak the same thing.
That's right.
Yeah. It's not hard. It's not that hard. So if you have unity camps that everybody has all these different doctrines and philosophies, that's not unity.
That's not unity. That's confusion.
Yeah.
The only thing you're unified in is confusion.
That's it. Just because you're an Israelite, that's part of the qualification.
Confusion camps.
Yeah, community camps.
It's supposed to be a body,
Right.
And the body operates as
Well, that's
one.
why you got guys that can come up under certain other guys, and all of a sudden, they're equal to that motherfucker. They're equal to that guy, or they're above that guy. Case in point, Nazariah and I not. I not the former head of GMS Detroit. They became equal to us. Then they became greater than us. Then they knew more than we knew. That we had everything wrong. And I'm just using them as an example, man. And we're over everybody else. When it comes to seeking and scriptures, we're over IUIC, we're over ISUPK, we're over Zabak, we're over all of them, man. We're over the Sakari.
In his day, everyone that was,
Right.
you know, he was over all those wicked Pharisees, the wicked Sadducees, over all of them. But they didn't want to accept that. You go ahead.
Okay,
You got
let
it.
me see. I think
I got a
that
little
was
more.
it on that.
Ephesians 4:14, that we henceforth be no more children tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness whereby they lie in wait to deceive. But speaking the truth
They
in
lie
love,
in wait to deceive. Who does that sound like? You know?
Yeah, because you're deceiving people, man. You know, in the case with Zabak, since his name is up there with the whole Mark of the Beast thing, you know, you're deceiving people. Now, you might not be, you're not, I don't think you're doing it in wickedness, but guess what? You're still deceiving people, man. You're still deceiving.
I got a quick precept. The book of 1 Peter 5.
And you should be in the spirit like the woman, that great woman and her sons that refused to eat the pork.
right?
Yeah.
And then the old man,
Yep.
they told the old man, we're going to give you lawful meat, but you say that you're eating pork. And he said no, and they put him to death.
Yep.
And they tortured him, man.
Yeah.
So what kind of man are you, man? You trying to play the Most High cheap? Oh, I'm going to get the mark up in me, but at the last minute, I'm going to pull it out. Yeah, well, I want to see that, man. When you do it, make sure you have a camera with you. And I'll be up in the ship watching you pull your fucking chip out your hand.
That's wicked as hell, too.
You put the chip in there, guess what? You're going to eat a missile.
You're gonna get dipped.
You take the chip, you're going to get dipped.
1 Peter, quick precept for you. 1 Peter 5:1.
And after this, we close it. It's that time.
The elders which are among you I exhort, which am also an elder, and a witness of the sufferings of Yahushua, and also a partaker of the glory that shall be revealed. Feed the flock of the heavenly Father, which is among you, taking the oversight there, not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind. Neither is being lords.
And a lot of these guys do this thing for money.
Yeah,
They realize they can make money out
right.
of the congregation, you know?
yeah, they got all kind of merchandise going.
Yeah.
It's now. This is one example where Yahushua got extremely upset
Oh yeah.
when he made the statement, "My father's house, you shall not make my father's house a house of merchandise."
Well, he was so mad that he kicked over the tables
Yep.
and scourged them with a whip.
And it's true, man. A lot of you Israelites out there, you look
There's a hustle coming, a new hustle coming along.
yeah, Israelite T-shirts and you know anyway,
Fringes, selling
yeah,
fringes.
selling, yeah.
Starter kit.
I'll just read the third verse. Neither as being lords over the Most High's heritage, but being ensamples to the flock. That's it.
Okay, so with that, we out of here. We're closing up.
Shalom to the Lord.
Shalom to the elect.
To the elect.